always like going on early because I don't know when Jeff is gonna. Got a lot of shit to talk about before Jeff gets on here. I think Jeff's the only one we have coming on tonight. This is a lifesaver to a lot of seniors out there. I wish you guys would use it a lot more. I was in Houston last weekend. A lot of guys were coming up to me, seniors coming up to me, 40s and 50s, that asked me about water. What's up, Randall? I'm going to reply back a little bit. That's a little tough, man. That's a little strong. I have to dilute it. I'm going to see what you guys are saying starting off, and then I'm going to shut that off. At my age, I get too many squirrel moments where I'm looking over there. Talk about a lot of things tonight. Get started. I wanted to start a little early, a few seconds early, minutes early. Guys, get on YouTube. I know everybody. What's up, Jason? I know everybody doesn't follow or join or subscribe, but it's just a lot more information on different channels that we put out. And we got information. It's not one. We got different information going to YouTube. We share it eventually across the board, but there's some might get one before the other one. Facebook, Instagram. I'm building that Instagram channel. I'm actually slowly but surely getting that thing up there, because if you guys remember, a few months ago I was held hostage for my last Instagram channel, which had a lot of followers on it, and they offer, pay me $100, I'll let you have it back. It just, if they're just asking for $100, it's going to be more later. Short Porch Cutting Edge, on TikTok too. I'm on TikTok, but shortporchcuttingedge.com. Guys, when you guys go to that channel, a lot of you guys like to see weight distribution numbers, and the reviews will be on that channel too, and they'll be put on Short Porch Baseball Company later. A lot of stuff's going to change when I get to Savannah. A lot of things going to be up to date, probably before you guys even get any of the bats. We'll be doing more weight distribution numbers, compression testing like I just did a few minutes ago on a couple of bats I got in today. We'll talk about that later on. So, Short Porch Cutting Edge, you guys are texting me and saying, hey, there's something going on. And here's what is happening to that channel, because it's by GoDaddy. I've had it for about 2011, 2012. That it was Senior Softball Bat Reviews, but for some reason when I swapped it over to Short Porch Cutting Edge, you can't buy anything on it. So they're saying it's not a secure channel and can steal your credit card information. No, it can't, because you're not buying anything on it. But they try to do that because they want me to get it secured. Getting it secured is $350 a year. So it's just a money grab for them. They don't even know that I don't want credit cards there. But of course, they sent up that little, that little disclaimer. If you go to the bottom left-hand side and you click down there where it says more information, that'll take you into my channel. So they're trying to tell you this channel's not secure because they want me to get paid for it, the security of it. But it doesn't need it because I don't run credit cards through it. It's stupid shit. Money grab. I'm back at the house. I'm going to try to mess with it all this weekend and see if I can fix that. But if you get in that, it gives you that little warning thing, and you got to click on the bottom left. There's a little highlighted. You can click on it, and that'll take you into my channel. Short Porch Cutting Edge. Rachel Good, talked to her this morning. She was supposed to come on tonight. Actually, at the beginning, she's going to start her podcast on Mondays. Again, she has a bunch of information that she's going to start sharing with everybody. She does that, lady. It's a part of Short Porch too. She is a part of Short Porch. She's a factory hitter, pro hitter, whatever you want to call them, for Short Porch. And she has that West Coast Short Porch team. So she's going to be doing a podcast every Monday and getting out there and talking about, because if you, and I'm going to talk about it here in about 15 minutes, is peptides. She knows a lot about peptides. She has injuries. She just got her hamstring reattached, and she's coming back. She's in her 40s and she's coming back from that. So there's a lot of things that she can talk about. A lot of you guys having surgery. I know, I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but he just had knee replacement surgery. I talked to him in Vegas, told me he was having one done and then later on getting a partial on the other one. Definitely I would, if I talk to him, I'd tell him start on peptides. BPC 157. I'll talk about that in a minute on what I'm taking every day. And guys, it has changed. Especially the injectables has changed. I will not go back to a pill form and a peptide again. I just won't, especially a tablet. If they got any tablets out there, I never saw a tablet. I saw a pill. I say pill, but it's like a capsule. I threw all of my tablet supplements. I'm going to go through them here in a minute. All my tablet supplements, I threw all of them away. You don't absorb, you absorb less than 10% of the milligrams on that tablet that's in your body. So pill form is up to 30%. Not pill form, capsule form is up to 30%. You can absorb that, but that ain't shit still. You guys want to take a testosterone boosters, which I have got a lot of you guys are messaging me on the side about testosterone boosters. I'll give you what I've done research on in the last, I would say 5 years, because they got different stuff out there. Last 15 years. Thanks, Hank. What I'm going to do is I have this that I'm going to kind of talk about tonight. This is my supplements. I do have another one that's in my phone, and it's talk about the testosterone boosters. So you guys are in your 40s. If you're watching me and you're in your 40s, a lot of you guys want just a booster, just something to raise the testosterone a little bit. If you're in your 55, 60, 65, 70, I suggest you go get your testosterone checked, because I'm pretty sure you're low. Testosterone is a game changer. Testosterone is something us men already have. Had it since we were babies. Men has higher testosterone. So when we lose it, as we get older, a lot more injuries start happening. We don't heal as fast. So definitely need to look into that. And what I'm doing here, guys, I don't understand. This is something I want to clarify here. I don't understand where everybody's thinking, or everybody's saying, I never get up there and I said, this is the exact thing you need to do. You need to get on this. This is something you need to start. I know 100% of everything. I do not know 100% of everything. Never said I'd know everything. The one thing I started doing years ago was putting you on a path put you on a path that you can look at things differently than hearing somebody say something and they're not always, and they're of high stature, like a doctor or something. And a lot of doctors, not a lot, a few doctors are just not correct on a lot of things that they're saying. So there's different pathways that you can take. The only thing I'm doing here is giving you direction and, hey, look into this. If this is not working for you, I talked to a gentleman last weekend that had prostate cancer and had his prostate removed, and I was talking to him about little things that he can do to try to get his quality of life back, because when you have that done to you, they start suppressing your hormone levels. I know this because my father-in-law had his prostate removed, and we went through it all with. He would talk to me about stuff like that. And we went through it all with him too. So you take one shot every 6 months, and it gets rid of all the hormone levels, the higher hormone levels in your body. So there's different things that you can do to take care of that. So Rachel is coming out. She's going to start doing, which I think is a plus with her. Here's another thing too, guys. Listen to everybody that puts these podcasts out, because everybody's got an opinion. I don't understand why opinions were a bad thing anymore. A lot of people would, what's up, Noah? A lot of people would want to hear other people's opinions because there's different ways of doing things. Workouts, there's different ways of doing things. Supplements, there's different ways. Rachel, would be another pair of eyes to look at something and give you what she thinks about it. Not only what she would suggest. She's the ladies too that are getting in. She would probably know more about the ladies than I would. When it comes to hormone, I know a little bit about it, but I'm pretty sure she can clarify anything that I had to say about it. So definitely listen to her podcast. She's going to start talking about a lot of things, not only softball and softball bats and things like that, but and she's on the same page. We talked for a while today. She's on the same page as Short Porch is about, putting the right bat in ladies' hands. Good character, and just talking about something different than guys chiming in here on every Wednesday and then listening to all the stuff. Another thing too, getting on that, what I was getting to a minute ago was we and when you're doing a podcast, it's just our opinion, guys. Don't take it personal. Jordan, I think we do. Another thing that Jordan talked about, you guys have a signed conference player guy. I think we will. I think he's already been picked out. But guys, it's at the end of the year. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm getting way off track here. But the one thing that I do want to, because there has been some stuff said about a month ago, why people that don't know are not educated. I shouldn't say don't know, but not educated on what we do or what I do. And they're talking about, they're talking about why I do this. You see that? Talking about why I pop the caps out of bats, and I'll have a bat like this laying on the side, and it's about a 22 ounce or 23 ounce bat, and it's going to be in the off season. So I do my off season training. I start my off season training. I've already started right when I got back from Vegas. I started. I don't stop. I don't take a week off. I don't take a month off to get through Thanksgiving and start up after December and get ready. I start right after I get back from Vegas. If I don't have any more tournaments, like if I was going to Huntsman games or those other tournaments that's actually going on in November, there's one that today. I think there's one starting today. If I would wait until I'm done with tournaments, and then usually at the end of November, if I'm not, like after Vegas, I wasn't playing anymore. So I started my workout routine. Off season is different than during the season. I work with a light ass bat, and I work on explosive movements, white muscle fiber. Now I got criticized for that by somebody that really didn't know what I was doing, but they just wanted to be a dickhead. Let me tell you who does it. Back in my day, Lou Simmons, Westside Barbell Club, he started doing something that he got from the Russians back in the 70s and 80s. It's a powerlifting routine. Well, I'm a big fan of Lou Simmons. Started doing it at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, all the way up to 35. I did his routine, but I tweaked it a little bit. I couldn't do it the way his guys were doing it because I wasn't on the stuff that his guys were on. I was natural, ADFPA, American Drug Free Powerlifting Association. So I did it my way, and I tweaked it. What I found out was my exit velo went through the roof when I started powerlifting Lou Simmons' way, which he got from the Russians, their workout routine. And he tweaked it the way he wanted the method. It's the method that he has. He tweaked it the way he wanted it, and it come to be where he would train people. He would train all athletes. He just wouldn't train powerlifters. He'd train sprinters, he'd football players, and he had a different way of training. And I liked it. I thought it was amazing. I think it helped softball because there's all those explosive movements with percentages of your max. And a lot of speed routine. Well, I started doing that, and all of a sudden, I saw that Ray DeMarini, back in late 80s, early 90s, came up with this video, and it is you guys need to watch it. I put it up on my Facebook page. Y'all need to watch that video. That is a badass video, and he is right. He's got Larry Carter, my brother. Larry Carter, my roomie, too. We're playing senior ball. He played with Crush. And it had a big, Larry was big back then. So he got him in there, and you can tell they're just working speed. Everything's explosive. And then Ray talks about swinging a wiffle bat, like one of those little yellow wiffle bats. And then later on after that, go watch the video. It's a pretty real edge. You guys going to create a little bit more bat speed on senior apartment. Look at that video that Ray put out. And then Ray DeMarini, I think Kim Vanbergard, another friend of mine, did he did another video. He did a video of Mike Masinko, not Ray, but Mike Masinko. And he started talking to Mike, and Mike said the same thing. Goes, I did, and in the early 80s, I did Mike Masinko's training routine as 3 different bats. So what I found out with Mike was he does a very light bat. And he talks about popping the end cap out and swinging a very light bat, and then swinging your own bat, and then swinging a heavy bat. The only thing I did with Mike's routine is I took out the heavy bat, and I just swung my bat, and I swung an aluminum bat that I took the end cap out of. So, and it worked, guys. It worked. I didn't have a tester back then to test my exit velo, but I noticed that I was hitting the ball a little bit further. And after that, I didn't hear anything much about this training kind of method, but I've always kept it. I've always talked about it for 16 years. And that was in the early 80s. And then here recently, another gentleman that I met, had the pleasure of meeting, is Mike Hamilton with Dudley. He's got a few videos out there, and I did share one today or yesterday where he's talking about using a wiffle bat, just do speed training, not with a heavy bat, but with his own personal bat and a wiffle bat, and how to swing it in front of a bat speed tester. And that's a bat speed tester that I have, it's laying around here somewhere that I've tested it. I only had to use it a few times, and then I can gauge on if it's working for me because of the exit velo that I'm getting or the distance that I'm getting. So Mark Hamilton has a Masteries bat, and he's got a lot of video on out there about training. But at least the deal about it is, at least they're putting video out to educate people. They don't need to get criticized for that shit. They're putting stuff out there to make people better. And he does preaching in his, and it's just, it's helping the community that want to get better, that want to go to that next level, right? And that's what these guys are doing. But they've always talked, and even he mentions Ray DeMarini, Mike does, mentions Ray DeMarini, and he used to do this back in the late 80s, early 90s. But here's the deal. Ray talks about getting that same workout routine, the same explosiveness with percentages. I think Ray was talking about 80%, 70% is from the Russians. The same Lou Simmons did it 10 years earlier. He was getting all of it, but Lou was just doing powerlifting. So Ray DeMarini took that mentality of a powerlifter and converted it with his workout routines, and he put it in a softball, because Ray was a little man. He wasn't a big man. He was a little guy that wanted to hit the ball far. So he did a lot of research, Ray did. Not only did he bring us the bats, guys, he bring us the double wall. He bring us his knowledge. And a lot of people don't see that. I see it. I saw it back then. And I did his routine, and it worked. I tested it on me, and it worked. So those are guys that I looked at, and I did tweak it a little bit because I added Lou Simmons' workout routine into it when I do workouts, and it helped me. I don't do anything heavy, because I think if you swing something heavy, it actually trains your body to swing slow. That's just me, and even Mike Hamilton talked about it in that video I put out, about your body needs to know that it can swing something that fast. So that's what he's talking about. I agree, Mike, 100%. Go look at the videos. I'll post them on Facebook. I'll post them for the next 3 months, because this is our workout season, right? We're going to start working out. I'll post them for the next 3 or 4 months. There's a lot of other videos that I get. I'm a freak when it comes to education on things that I like, and I'll look at stuff. I look at stuff at nighttime, and if I see something, I'll put it on Facebook and share it with everybody. That's creatine. So different ways. I think I welcome a lot of the other podcasters that are out there. Let me talk about this before I'm already running long. There's other things, and here's the deal. before I talk about something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do something. Okay, like the triple threat. You know, you guys see it right there. That's triple threat. It's a peptide. I've been doing that for a while. That's how come I said I won't go back to pill form. Everything's injectable to me. I've done injections for peptides for probably 15 years, 16 years. I've done injectables for peptides. BPC 157, TB 500, I would do them differently. BPC 157, I would inject into the injury. My meniscus tear on my right knee healed it, in my opinion. But my tear was different. You know, I didn't have a severe tear. I had a partial tear. Those are hard to heal too. If you guys had a meniscus, it's hard to heal a meniscus tear, but mine healed. And he couldn't tell me it was that in that area because apparently the higher up they are, the better they heal. If the higher up they're on the round part of the top, they heal better. So definitely. Let me talk about these supplements, guys, that I'm gonna put out for the next. I'm gonna put them out right when I'm done. I've actually went through and gave you guys everything that I take. Another thing I've done too is testosterone boosters. We talked about that a minute ago, where there it is. I'm gonna screenshot it, and these are real study ingredients on a testosterone booster. That way you're out there wasting your money on these baseball players, so-called, well, there are baseball players, so-called testosterone boosters they put on, and he starts talking, oh, like you and her will enjoy it and shit like that to try to make you buy their stuff. I've seen the ingredients in that. A lot of them won't give you ingredients on their self-proclaimed testosterone booster. I'm going to give you stuff that has been tested and that actually works as a testosterone booster. Now, here's the deal. On you guys that are younger, it's going to do some good shit. It's going to increase it. Never heard of it, Jason. I could do some research to what I'm going to do, guys. Let's do that because I'm getting squirrel moments and Jeff will run up on me here in a minute. So I have stuff that I've done research on for a while. Here's the deal. You guys are in your 30s and 40s. I have a few guys are in here in their 20s and 30s. This would actually help you. It's not going to shut down your own production of testosterone. That way you would get in a testosterone, a PCT therapy where you would have to take something to increase your boys to start doing more testosterone because it comes from your boys, starts in the pituitary gland, goes down to your boys, and your boys start producing testosterone. It's not going to shut you down. What will shut you down is I'm going to start banging on that door here in a minute. What will shut you down is this. This is testosterone, SPLive. If you start taking that, it will shut down your own production. If you're in your 30s or 40s, it might pick it back up. In 20s, you will pick it back up if you get off of it. As you get to be older, it don't kick in as good. It doesn't stimulate to actually produce more growth, anything that you take. Now, after you get off, if you start taking this, guys, at the age of 50, this is just me, and you start taking this at the age of 50, you got to take it for the rest of your life. So what's going to happen is you're going to increase it. If you take it for a long time, you're going to increase it and your boys are going to shut down. Now, if you're after your age of 50. So when you get off of it, if you get off it, what I wouldn't recommend why you would get off of it or recommend to get off of it. I haven't in 15, 16 years. You get off of it and you're too old. Your boys won't kick back in because it's not going to stimulate them enough to bring you back up to optimal levels. Because if you started it, you're already at low levels anyway. So it'll just shut you down more if you start it. Now, that's the problem with a lot of guys out there that don't want to start it because they don't want to take it for the rest of their life. I understand that. But if you're at 200, the ingredients that I'm going to give you that you can take over the counter, you can buy this stuff separately over the counter. If you are younger, if you're at 200, It's not going to get you up there. It's probably going to increase you about 350. You're still symptomatic at 400. So you would have to get on, if you wanted to feel better, heal better, and not have so many injuries and get a little bit more strength back and get away from that muscle wasting disease, I call it, but it's not a disease because every man after the age of 50 and one woman after the age of 50, they lose hormones, they lose a lot of muscle. If you're in your 20s, 30s, you have that 6, 7, 800, 800 better, it's going to increase at 30%. So you're looking at raising over 150 points, 180 points, somewhere around there. So it just all depends on that higher level, 180. So that'll make you feel a little bit better. But if you get off of it, your boys will kick back in if you're younger. You're older, you got to take it for the rest of your life. But here's the deal. If you are already symptomatic at that 20-year-old, at that 200 at 50, 60, if you're already symptomatic of that, getting on it, you're going to feel amazing. You're not going to want to get off of it. That's why I try convincing people like, dude, if you're low, you got to get on this stuff. It's talk to your doctor first, but you got to get on this stuff if you're low, because it's going to change your world. You're not going to want to go back, right? So that's the deal about the testosterone. Right when I get off the phone here, I'm going to put up what I have, and I'll tell you proof that I got it. I'm just going to post it out there. This is it right here. That's the stuff that I have. I'm going to post it out there. And that way you guys can go off and look through my wall and find it. There's another one too. Now a lot of you guys were asking about the supplements that I take. I'm going to go through that, and I'm going to post that when I get off tonight too, so you guys can go back and look at all the supplements. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Creatine, 100%, right? They ask you for the normal person. They ask you to take on creatine at least 5 grams a day on a normal person. I am not normal. I'm 65. So I take up to 15, no more than 15. I'm taking 10. That's 10 right now. Grams of creatine, because it does help us. Older gentlemen think a little bit better, because as you get older, you tend to get squirrel moments quite a bit. You tend to lose thought, forget little stuff. So it actually does help the older guys. I can vouch on that one, buddy, because there's a certain time where you just realize you start forgetting shit. It's like, and it's the little stuff. It's not the long term. It's the little stuff. But there's peptides out there that are going to help you too, and I'll talk about them in a minute. But creatine, I'll post the creatine. A lot of you guys, if you go back, you can look on my wall and see the creatine that I actually have. I think it's better on my stomach. I have stomach problems when it creatine monohydrate. So I found this is better. And I do see a difference when I'm taking it and I'm lifting. So I know it's pure, really good creatine. I don't take creatine gummies, guys. There's so much. Derek from More Plates, More Dates. That is a guy that's out there, has over 1 million followers. And he talks about how a lot of the gummies are actually not good for you, because when they make them, they don't know how much is in one little gummy of creatine compared to another one. It could have like 1 gram compared to like 5, 6 grams in another one. It just doesn't, it's not mixed. I mean, if you think about it, how could you get them to mix in a gummy when you have all this other stuff that makes it a gummy that's in there? So I stay away from the gummies, guys. That's just me. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. D3 with K2, 10,000. I didn't write that in there. Is it ICGs of creatine? And I usually get them together. You can go down to the store and get your health food nutrition store, and get D3 with K2, L-lysine, 1,000 milligrams, Pygeum, 100%, guys. Every man that's watching this tonight over the age of 40 needs to get on Pygeum. There's so many things Pygeum can do for you, especially with for the prostate. And if you guys I actually have any kind of prostate trouble, get on Pygeum. But here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna post this stuff. Grab it and do your own effing research, man. I mean, these are just pathways that I'm giving you. You guys need to do research on. L-arginine. Now I'm taking a peptide that actually has L-arginine in it. So, but I make sure that I get at least 1,000 milligrams of L-arginine. B12 with folate. I really don't need that anymore. B12 with folate. 500 mcgs on the B12. But here's the deal too. I'm taking a B12 injection every 3 days. So I take 3 a week. You can take 1 to 3 a week. I take B12 injections, but it's got a bunch of other stuff in there that I can talk about here in a minute. And then, but I'll post all this, guys. This is all going up on my Facebook page, and you guys can see what I'm taking. Barberry, it's I think 1,000. Look at that. It's going to be posted. 1,000 milligrams magnesium glycate. Make sure that you get magnesium glycate, gentlemen, because that other magnesium, any other magnesium, a couple of, actually, there's 10 of them. Don't quote me. There's around 10 magnesiums out there. I take magnesium glycate because it doesn't upset my stomach. So definitely magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams. Benfotiamine, it's B1. It's B1. 250 milligrams. Tutka, good for the liver. You guys have any fatty liver? Ladies got any fatty liver? Definitely start on Tutka tomorrow. NAG, look at that one. NAG. It's an anti-inflammatory. I take that too. There is a sports carb electrolyte out there, and I've talked about this in the past, and I will bring this up every time I'm on talking to you guys that play outfield, you guys that up there that are pitchers, shortstop, second base, you guys running bases for everybody. You gotta take some kind of carb when you're hitting, because you're going to deplete your glycogen levels in your muscles, and you're gonna be tired as shit going up to that freaking sports bar, because I was there last week on that sports bar, and you look up there and all that shit, and I'm telling you guys, most of those places, the big league dreams, all big league dreams, have crap for food. There's no nutritional value of any of the shit that they got up there, chips and it cokes, and that's going to deplete you. You're going to be tired by the third game if you play that day. I would bring shit. It's hard to do that at Big League Dreams because I always check your bag because they want you to buy stuff there. So what I would do is it would be it's called G1M Sports. G1M. I'll show a picture of that later on too. I'll put that up there. It's a fast absorbing complex carbohydrate. You can put it in a shake and drink it. They're not going to kick that out and not let you take it in there. But what that is you sip on it. You don't guzzle it. You sip on it during the tournament, during the day. You will not lose. It won't give you that big insulin spike, right? You guys need to eat a Snickers bar that gives you that pow. Well, that's got to come down, gentlemen, 20, 30 minutes later, and it dives way down before where it was when it started, like insulin. So you get tired as shit at the end. So I've always taken out. This is, guys, I've been doing this for 40 years, going down to the bagel shop and grabbing bagels at the bagel place in San Antonio, cinnamon raisin bagels, and just munching on them during the day. That's what I did a long time ago to keep my energy level up. Super enzymes, guys. If you're over the age of 40, your digestive system is starting to tank on you. It doesn't produce as much acid, I guess, as you get older. You know, you can't eat the foods that you used to eat. And what I found out, I've been doing this for years, is taking it was probably 45 when I started doing it. It was taking a digestive enzyme. Everybody that is and a lot of guys watching here tonight need to get on some kind of digestive enzyme. CoQ10, been taking that stuff since powerlifting days in the late 20s, early 30s. I call it the firing mechanism for muscle, the firing off on a muscle. Do some research on it. CoQ10. Omega-3, guys, I double up on omega-3 if my body can handle it. The reason I say that is because you don't want to be burping up fish oil. So omega-3. Now look this one up, gentlemen. It's called NAD. I take all of this shit, man. NAD. Look it up. Now, before I get into the peptides, I've been trying to supplement with protein drinks forever. And I'm going to try to get a discount code on this because I am a big believer in this shake. It's a protein shake. I stay away from whey protein, Y protein. I don't know what the hell they call it. I try to stay away from milk, anything that they make with a protein shake. If you ever would watch the way they make those, the ingredients they get off of those whey proteins and what it comes from, yeah, I don't think you can touch another. It's just a lot of fillers, right? They add some aminos in it, which is protein too, but they add some aminos in it to actually help you. But it doesn't. It's just trash. It's nothing. So what I started doing is looking for something that was for a carnivore diet, right? So basically meats, and that's it. So I came across this one, and I freaking love it. And the money that I was paying on all the other crap, and I wasn't getting any benefit from it. You pay a little bit more, and you get some good quality shit. It's Mark Bell's Steak Shake, is what they call it. It's called the Total Carnivore Diet. It does have chocolate, yes, but it has stevia, guys. You hear me talk about stevia. It's not an artificial sweetener. It's actually comes from a plant. But this has got grass-fed liver, kidneys, heart, and more. It doesn't have eggs, which could be an inflammatory, guys. Eggs can be inflammatory. It doesn't have eggs in it. God dang it. And it doesn't have any kind of milk in it. It has nothing but beef protein. There was something else that they took out of it too. But I love that. As a matter of fact, no dairy, no whey, no egg, and no casein, which comes from a cow. So definitely that is some good shit. I'm going to try to get a discount code from them and kind of set that up. Let me talk about peptides here, and then I think Jeff will be ready to come on. Let me talk about peptides. Triple threat. This is the stuff right here that I'm taking. It's an injectable one. I take it 5 days a week, and I'm off on 2 days. It's triple threat. It's got I could read that because it's bright. It's got BPC 157. Call it triple threat. It's got TB4, TB 500, and KPV. It's an anti-inflammatory. I inject it in the fat of my belly. Just pinch it and just inject it right in there, going in sideways with a insulin needle, guys. Oh man, it's an insulin needle. I don't have any in front of me. It's real small, like a 32 gauge or something like that. It doesn't even hurt going in. If you guys can get you set up with any kind of an IV drip, definitely, because guys, if you're going into a tournament and you're just not, you got to get some kind of a fluids in you. The best way to get in is inject it, get it, an IV drip into your body to get that out there. So triple threat is one. I have a girl in San Antonio that I get it from, and it's pure. It's good stuff. I can feel a difference in it. I was taking some pill form out there that I could feel a little bit of difference in, but I just it wasn't doing that much because I got aches and pains everywhere. So it wasn't doing that much. I found out that I will not go back to a pill form. After doing about 2 months of the injection part, before I went to Vegas, I started it and testing it, see how it goes. And I love it. There's another one. So I won't go back to pill form or tablet form, anything like that. I'll stay away from tablets. I won't even touch another. Every tablet you guys have in your house tonight, you need to throw the fuck out. That's what I think about tablets. You're only absorbing, you're paying all that money, you're only absorbing less than 10% of the tablet. Lipo C is another one, and I will put information out there on all these stuff. Isotal, choline, B6, L-carnitine, L-arginine. That's where I'm getting the L-arginine from, and B12. So I used to take the pill form of B12, which did work, but looky here, which did work. Wow.
What's going on, my man?
How you doing? There you are. There you are.
I'm doing, man. I'm doing.
So you got, I didn't even know you were getting back today. I talked to you yesterday, and I thought you had meetings today in Oklahoma. I didn't know that you were on your way back from Oklahoma, but I guess you already had.
No, they had some more stuff there, but it was more imperative that we rode over. We did the lab meetings, the equipment certification meetings, and then we went to New Mexico and grabbed a trailer and come back to come back to Georgia. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we got back I got back at 1:55. I did the 2 o'clock live for the Fat Guy BP, and yeah, I've been wide open ever since, man. So
And then you had vehicle trouble today again too, right?
yeah, I had um my older son had some car troubles, and had to get all that ironed out. That escalated, just normal everyday life stuff, man. So we took care of it, got everything straight, and man, but we're off and running. We're back. We'll be back in office tomorrow, which literally will only be like the fourth day I've been in office since September 12th. So since September 11th, actually. So I hadn't been there much. I was telling people was asking about this and that. I'm like, guys, y'all got to call the office. I haven't even been there. And I'll be going another week to St. Louis for the U-Trip convention. So then I'll be back. I'll be back like 1 week and then gone again because we're working on a new facility. So it's wide open for me, as you know. And everybody. That's why we have a team, though. I do me, and everybody else does them, right?
Well, yeah, I have a team you kind of have confidence in to actually pick up the slack, and they have.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell, I got bats. Now, I usually have to wait like 2 weeks to get bats, but with your new team there, all of a sudden I'm getting bats being delivered to me. So I think you need to keep the new team there, right? Because before it was
Austin got you bats, right?
Yes, Austin got me bats fast, like real fast. He got so I'm like, I know Jeff's not there, Cage is not there, Austin must be there, or Erica must be in charge back there because I got some new shit, man. I was all excited. Like, let's keep them there.
I don't know how Austin shipped it, but he must have shipped it the fast way, huh?
It must have got it the fast way because I got them today. So
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, you're out. I did the weight distribution. We'll talk about them in a minute, but I love the weight distribution numbers in it and the compression on it. I like that they're not, I will talk about, but I did compression testing on them. And I did weight distribution. They're spot on, man, on that weight distribution.
They are.
You've hit that number. But on all the bats that I do weight distribution on. And I know it's going to be a lot more thorough whenever I get there because that's the first thing I'll check on and put them on the website right when you get there on the weight distribution numbers. But yeah, definitely. Do we have any scared bats on the 12-inch DDTs?
I think we have a handful of 26 and a halves and 27 and a halves. I think in the U-Trip and the senior, less than a case, maybe a case coming 20 now. But yeah, we moved through a ton of them end of last week and over the weekend. And that's what Austin was in there Monday, just shipping out scared bats and peach jawbreaker USA bats like crazy. And that's why we were scrambling to get everything out the door with Cage and Christian and myself gone. Austin stepped in and did an incredible job, got everything out. But yeah, the scared bats have been all the rage, as the peach jawbreaker, the Fat Guy BP resurface, that paint job, and with you've seen it, the weight distribution numbers on it is just phenomenal.
No, that's this one. That one you talking about? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
13-inch barrel. I'd like that color. But we're always good at colors. This is a 26 ounce, 16.8 on the end with 8.6 on the hands. That's that 26 that I had 16.8, man.
That's money.
That is, man. That helps that barrel flex really good too with that 16.8, 8.6. When you're in that high eights, man, that's the number that I love. And we have this bat out there that people are actually hitting right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Fat Guy BP has seen some went to Allen today. Chef had some. Adam Fowler has some, obviously. Hindu will be putting out a review from Average Dudes. Some of the review guys already have them in hand. But our people, I know Rob Taylor, Stacy Carr, is going to be, some of our people are going to be swinging it coming up, doing some videos and things like that, as the 2026 Fat Guy BP it's a badass bat, man. It is a U-Trip favorite, and we hope to keep it around for a long time. As far as the Scared, the OG DDT Blackout Dave Velasquez models are coming back in next week. So where we ran out of the lighter weights, we've already been selling the lighter weights if you called on the OG DDTs. So a lot of people are looking for 25, 26 ounce OG DDT Blackout Dave Velasquez models. So just call if you want to go ahead and get them ahead of next week. So we just ship them to you when they come in. They'll be coming in really soon. As a lot of cool stuff is coming on, as the Brandon Murray Bayou for you moderate to higher bat speed. That bat is coming in with Dave's bat, so they'll be together. So choose your weapon right there. If you're a moderate to higher bat speed or moderate to lower bat speed, want a softer barrel, choose your weapon. We'll have them both. We'll have the Bayou and OG DDT in stock sometime very soon.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about that Bayou bat because that tends to be those guys that at higher bat speed love that bat.
Absolutely.
And the way it swings too, it's got a little bit more inload to it, and the way and they can swing it, so you can go down in that. With the DDTs, you can always go down in weight. That's how come our 25s on that DDT is so real fast, because they found out you can drop weight with that DDT, get a little bit more bat speed and a lot more barrel flex because there's two weights instead of one. The DDTs are taking off, Jeff. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people are getting that word out there on that bat, the way it swings. The feedback that I'm getting, you're getting it, you only been home today, but the feedback I'm getting is so fluid, and they can swing it. They get consistent power with it and consistent base hits. Can do anything they want to with it, and all I got to do is just flick it. That's it.
Well, I was talking today about the onslaught of social media messages that we were seeing personally and on our Short Porch page. Mostly were just how big of fans everyone was of the DDT models, U-Trip and Senior.
Yeah.
So I know the 25.5 Scared that sold out so quick. The 25.5 Jawbreakers are going to be in stock next week also. And so if you like that model, grab a Jawbreaker. You won't miss a beat. Just different paint job there. Very similar bat, very similar performance from the pink Jawbreaker to the Scared on the U-Trip. I'm not talking about the DDT because it's 12.5. The U-Trip models are very similar. So grab the pink Jawbreaker bat that was, revered by many to be one of the top bats in the world. So grab that bat when it comes in if you're looking for the 25.5 next week. So
the Scared, another thing too we need to tell people is the Scared bat was just a Halloween run. That was something that we changed.
That's right.
Change a paint job on a bat that was already good, and we were kind of like I was telling somebody today, it was actually Rachel Good, and I said, well, the one thing about Jeff when he does these little runs is he's actually using the players as R&D. So what we did was on this bat is Jeff put a clear coat on it, not a clear, there was a matte finish on it, like a powder. And that's the only difference. So the feedback we're getting on this, and a lot of people are you bringing this bat back? Maybe next year. I don't think anytime soon, because we're having the other bats that are coming out with the gloss finish on it, which performs good too. And a lot of people kind of love that bat. So we're bringing that one back, next week. But a lot of people are asking, we're bringing this bat with that powder coat, with that matte finish on it. But we're getting a lot of feedback on those bats that are doing that, having that powder coat on it.
Yeah, and that's we haven't. I know you and I haven't discussed that yet. That doesn't mean we won't bring them back. That's something that will be in the discussions. Whether the half size OG one piece and the half size DDT OG will come back in the half sizes with the powder coats. That is something that I've been meaning for us to have a sit down and talk about. It just hasn't happened yet. So that doesn't mean there won't be a powder coat version of those bats come out they're not in production yet. We have a lot of stuff coming
Well,
out of production.
and they can't
Yeah,
jump in line. You know, you have a
yeah,
schedule
they can't.
that you're following, and they
Yeah,
can't jump
can't
in
jump
line.
on.
They actually, and that's how come I said next year if we do it, they'll come out
Yeah,
next year. But
yeah, it won't be this year because
mhm.
we're here towards the end of the year. Those are things that you and I will be talking about very soon. Obviously, we just hadn't got to it because we haven't been having a lot of meetings with everything going on, but it's coming down. There's going to be a lot of meetings about next year going on, and the kind of things we'll do. And I'm excited to have those meetings. It's I will look to the team for answers. To all the questions that Leslie and I have about next year, but things are moving in a great direction, and I expect to have a fun, exciting 2026 for Shore Porch for sure.
Oh, I think it's a lot of feedback I'm getting, like what Rachel talking to her today, and all the other people that I talked to, is they cannot wait for 2026 on
Yes, that's right.
what we have coming. There's a couple of questions that I think, because of the onslaught of every social media platform out there is talking about us,
Mhm.
we've got a lot of attention. So with that comes a lot of people wanting to be reps and a lot of people wanting to be factory hitters. And I try telling them that, you know, we're not looking, you know, it's at the end of the year. We don't pick up factory hitters during the end of the year. We usually look at them next year. And because of a lot of stuff that's been happening in the past week, we're vetting a little bit more now. We're actually doing a lot of research. If you have a chance to be a factory hitter, we're vetting quite a bit. And we're being really tough on a lot of people because of
Mhm.
the experience from the past. So, and that's something that I agree on that we would do. But if it does happen, it won't be till next year. But what we have an opportunity in is being a rep for Short Porch. If you're in that area, that we need reps, you know. And how would people go on? I know, but I don't want to hear. But how would people go on if they want to be a rep? Because we do vet reps too. We just don't let them
Yeah,
just
so
be a rep.
the reps on our website right now, you have a place where you can apply to be a rep. And basically drop down. It'll ask you some questions, and you can put the more not personal information, more information you put about yourself in there, and where you live and these type of things, the better chance of you having being picked up as a reps. As you know, we've been looking to add reps all over the country
Yeah.
and different spots to get a broader outreach as we grow, not only in the markets we have, but future markets like baseball and fast pitch. And these are the things that I've been working on. And the reason that I've been tied up is about future stuff. It's not about senior slow pitch or USSSA slow pitch like people think. The reason I've been missing is to about baseball and fast pitch and what I'm working on for next year. So, which are big markets to us. And, part of that was USA baseball. NFHS was at that meeting, which is, has everything to do with BB core and baseball bats. But the USA ASA, they're doing a lot of work, a lot of good studies, Dave. I seen there while I was in Oklahoma City about pitchers, for instance. I will say, I and there was a lot of information, but I will say this one thing I thought was very interesting. They did a study since 2014 where they took sensors and put on pitchers, right, Dave? And they're judging how fast, like your brain when you make a decision to when you catch the ball or make a movement to defend yourself to catch a ball. And what they found out that the top athletic athletes that were pitchers that they did all the studies on, very athletic people who move very fast, great twitch skills, they could not defend themselves any faster than the below average recreation player, because by the time the signals went from your brain to movement to actually catching the ball, on average you have 0.4 seconds, and that did not from a better athlete did not do any better than a non-athletic person, which I
because
thought was very
yeah,
interesting.
that is
And it's a
interesting.
long multi-year study. So
Yeah.
I believe it to be true.
It's
You
the
know?
firing mechanism from the brain to the
Yeah.
reaction of
Yeah.
muscle to actually go back. So your brain is not getting the white muscle fiber that actually fires off to make you react faster. There's a connection there that you can't fix. You can get your
That's right.
muscles where you're athletic, right? But
Yeah.
you can't beat the brain to the muscle, right? So that's
Yeah.
probably
And when,
that's what they're doing. That makes a lot of sense, and that's a lot of
yeah,
interesting
absolutely.
information people need to know. You know,
And,
so
and the
definitely,
fact that most injuries weren't pitchers. Most injuries, the injured pitchers are a way smaller part of total injuries in softball or in baseball and softball together. So let's I know the pitchers because they're so close and everybody looks at the pitchers to be in danger. But to be honest, most injuries, they're not pitchers getting injured. They're outfielders and, base runners and these kind of things, especially in senior softball. The pitchers aren't even a very high percentage of injuries that's happened. So that's good to know, from what's been going on.
yeah.
But yeah, you have about zero point 0.4 seconds, and that's not a lot of time, for any pitcher. I'm an advocate of the screen, but that's just me. I'm not. I don't make them kind of decisions, and I think they should be a screen out there, but some people don't. I don't know, but uh, but yeah, I mean, so overall, you know, things like just running around and things like that. That's where most people get injured.
Oh, I agree. The screen would actually make me pitch because
Yeah,
I knew that as I got older, because of the injuries, my reaction time, I just couldn't react, especially playing
yeah,
major plus ball for 12 years that I played it in 50s, 55s, 60s. I knew that I couldn't react fast enough. So with a screen, I could just throw it in there and throw it wherever I wanted to. I would nibble on the outside plate a lot more because I think the screen actually adds to a lot of the older guys that don't want to do it because they don't want to throw it outside. They'll just bust the inside. I think that'll get them off the couch and get them out there a little bit better, if you put a screen in front of them. So
yeah.
it different
You
venue,
know,
different way.
uh, obviously at the higher level, the ball's getting hit harder. So you 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 will have a little less time there. But I would argue at lower levels, and I'm talking more about kid ball than senior ball. That at the lower levels, there's with the crazy swings with inside outs and them pulling outside balls. I would argue you're at more danger just because you think some of them balls might not come back up the middle. I know Christian was talking about today about how a guy we know was playing against them, and he was actually a friend of mine, and he said he inside outed one at their pitcher, and pitcher kind of wasn't kind of ready for it, and it was inside out. And I think he got glove on it, Christian said, but those are the kind that'll fool you and get you right when you take a pitch
Uh,
that you don't think's coming up the middle.
yeah, I'm laughing because I already heard about that.
No, really?
I,
Okay.
I already heard.
Yeah.
It's funny how all that stuff go. I hear about it, right? And I already
Yeah,
heard.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm just
see,
talking. I'm not dropping any names or things like
yeah,
that.
I know. But
Yeah,
and the part about that is the most time where I've gotten hit are pitches that I didn't think they were going to do it, that I threw
yeah,
inside and they wanted to go there. And I'm thinking they're not going to hit that pitch at me. And then boom, they'll
yeah,
hit me. Right. So those are the
yeah,
times I got in trouble that I threw it in there and not knowing or not being set up right where, the guy kind of inside outs it and smokes
yeah,
me. Right. So I'm like, but it happens. Here's the deal, too. This is my opinion. You have nobody to blame. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're pitching at that level, you're taking the responsibility away from it. And I understand.
yeah,
I would pitch with a screen. But if I pitched for 35 years playing U-trip ball, if I got smoked, that was my fault. Right. I wasn't
mm,
blaming the guy for hitting the middle. Never did that. But I would take that responsibility because I pitched. And that's just the way at the upper level. I'm talking about the upper level. Pitcher gets out there, he knows what he can expect. He knows it, right? So I would have to say at that level, it's just something that you gotta deal with it. You gotta put it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're a pitcher. You got to expect that you're going to have to field your position and ball. Could be hit very well. At times. So
Yeah.
you have to expect that's going to happen if you get out there. That's just the reality of it, and that's why everybody wears gear and safety, and these kind of things happen. but but anyway, yeah, that was just one of the snippets. I mean, I'll talk to you offline about some of the other stuff coming off. I don't want to get into that, but good things. I will say USA softball, Kevin Ryan, who heads up, um, and he is like second command at USA. Kevin is, and I'm sorry, I forget the top guy who I've met a few times, but Kevin is an excellent dude, great person. I think they do the best job at safety and putting putting effort forth on testing these kind of things. It's
Yeah.
the strictest safety rules in the game. So, and I know a lot of rec leagues and co-ed play USA. This isn't really tournament ball. So, hats off to USA for trying and all they do out there. They're great people and they do a good job. And like I said, next we'll be off to USSSA and to hear about what they have going on for next year. Also, as senior side, we stay pretty connected on what's going on always. But USSSA and USA, it's always good to hear what they're working on, and they're working on some cool stuff for the future. I will say that.
Good,
Mm.
good. I know you were talking today a little bit about one of the things that across the board, SSUSA and USA is about the problem of shaving. So they are
Yeah,
really concerned about that, and they're trying to look at different ways to actually help when it comes to that. Just to let you guys know, they're just not letting it go by. They're actually looking at different ways to battle that, basically,
yeah,
because
absolutely. Yeah, and it is to make the game safer, and the products, we put out there cutting edge, and I talked to a little of them about some of our future products that we will be going to testing with, so they would know what to look for and see. Nothing that we've have put out or anything like that. I'm talking about future technology, so we could get on the same page as it may be different kind of things. Somebody asked on here about the DDT. The DDT is not to come out in USA yet. It will. That will be way down the road right now. However, it is something we're working on for USA as the DDT is high performant and USA softball has pretty strict regulations.
yeah,
So, working that through USA is something we have been working on all year as a lot of models. So, just look for us. But we have a lot of future tech that we're going to be rolling out through next year. That'll be down the road. We're not going to bore everybody with right here, right now, until we actually go to market. But Dave and I will be talking about all that stuff for sure. So,
what I like about what we're doing is a lot of people are asking the questions about the future, and we really don't want to talk about that because we have a schedule, like we always talk about. We have a
yeah,
schedule
yeah,
of things that will come out by the end of the year. We're not going to jump ahead and tell everybody what's coming out in the next 6 months. But I know that you wanted to. I know that you wanted to let these companies aware, or like at USAA, aware of things that are coming from us. Like this is what we're working on, and I thought you said you're going to do the same thing with U-Trip on things down
yeah.
the road we thought about in Vegas, like things down the road that we thought about just talking on the phone at night. So yeah, definitely new tech that's coming out that we want to push the envelope on, and that's basically what we've been doing, Jeff. Is for the whole,
Yeah.
for the
We're
time you've been starting.
yeah, we're here. We're here to put the best legal products in the market available to the players, and I think that's the goal of most manufacturers. And I think we do a great job of that. And we do extensive testing, and I think we're very consistent when it comes to our barrels, and we know why. Again, I won't get into all that. That stuff me and Dave's talked about all year. If you want to go back and watch all the podcasts, but our barrels are very consistent. That helps. And great waiting. Like you've always preached way before you ever come to short porch really helps. For instance, our balanced versions of our bats, and the waiting on them is really, really good. Helps them to be top tier performance. So a lot of things like that. But it's been really fun of late to look at next year, start to look at next season. And I know some of our own short porch people were hitting you up asking questions about next season on some things that we hadn't talked about yet. And you told them we hadn't had discussions about all the bats and kind of factory hitters and reps and signature players, for instance. None of these have, been discussed as of yet, and what we're going to do or what schedule we'll have anything on for that. I know everybody wants to get way ahead, but man, we just got done with Worlds, and when it comes, especially on the senior side, which most of this stuff is senior, it seemed like the senior the senior softballers in short porch, they seem to be a lot more nosy than the kid ball side. So, for whatever reason, right?
I agree. It's I'm just looking at my phone buzzing right now about the same thing you're
Yeah.
talking about for next year.
Yeah.
And here's the deal: it's next year. I mean, we do think about it at the end of the year on what we're going to do for next year, and there are some rumors going around, as I heard in Houston and U-Trip Worlds, where I'm like, "Oh, where'd you hear that from, man?" I just I
Oh man.
don't know what you. I don't
Yeah,
know
we
what
don't
you're
know. We
talking
don't
about.
know what you're talking about. But yeah, we hadn't had a lot of them discussions, and what though? I was thinking about that day. Man, I sure am glad that people love the game that much that they think that far ahead. Um, on hey, what are we doing next June or May or July? We hadn't got that far, but man, I'm glad they love the game that much to be thinking that far ahead,
Isn't
and
that awesome? They're
yeah,
not. They're not
it
ready.
is awesome.
They're not ready to shut it down. They're not ready to
Yeah,
shut.
they're not shutting anything down,
Mm-mm.
and last week was a testament to the softball market after Worlds not shutting down and how it was very year round. And we seen that last week when I'll never forget we were in the office. I was in the office a couple days front of last week. I was in there a few days last week, and it was real slow. And I told everybody, I said, hey, at the front of the week, you guys take off. Yeah, you guys take some days off, and we're going to run on a skeleton crew and just let's kind of reset because we've been just getting hammered for months, right, Dave? And man, as soon as I did that, our sales skyrocketed, and we were just wildly busy out of nowhere. So um, that's kind of how things always happen, though, right? That's how
Well,
things
yeah,
always happen.
I
Yeah.
think you put out over 100 bats or something like that at one day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah,
Yeah.
one day.
He
Yeah.
fired.
So
Hey, just for the record, he's acting all nice. He fired everybody.
I'm like,
He
we
said,
don't
"What?
need y'all. I'm like, we
Yeah."
don't need y'all. We did it all by ourselves.
Jokingly, of course, but he said, "What? I put out 100. Me and Leslie put out 100 and something bats. Today. What I need y'all for?" But that was funny. I was laughing, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing. I'm over here. You can't fire me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I told everybody to take some time off, and we had a lot going on, and poor Cage, man, he had to he left Auburn, Alabama, drove to um, Little Rock, Arkansas, then drove to Oklahoma City, then drove to Clovis, New Mexico, and then worked his way all the way back to Savannah. Now I drove with him a little bit of that, but then picked up the Suburban on the way back through. So it was wild, and he was tired today, but he busted his ass to make all that happen and get everything squared away. So we could get our stuff back that we carried to Vegas that we still didn't have back.
So now we got the trailer back from Vegas. What do we have? Oppo Taco. We have all those bats that were in there. like the
Yeah,
bob and the short dipper.
there was a good bit of people were asking about the 25.5 chili dipper a lot. And there was a few cases of 25.5 chili dippers in the trailer actually, and some 25, 26 bobs. But those 20, all you guys, the 25.5 chili dipper is a sweet bat. It's really sought after. So if you're looking for a 12 and a half, and we do have the 25.5 chili dippers. I don't know that we loaded them in inventory yet to sell them online, but we do have them. They'll be online tomorrow, or you can call the office. Miss Erica will sell you one. And if you're watching this podcast and you want to get an OG DDT, you absolutely can call and go ahead and order the OG DDTs before they get here. Those
So they're
are
pre-order, right?
yeah, you can
Okay.
pre-order it and grab it next week. We don't have them on pre-sale online, but you can call and go ahead and get one. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, and what?
I got a few phone calls on that today about if they can
Yeah, and I just
order that back.
you know I've been completely tied up all afternoon, so that was something I was going to call and talk to you about, and I just didn't get a chance to talk to you about it. As we'll, and we may, I don't know when that bat'll be coming in, what day next week yet. Chances are Dave and I'll be doing a lot on the OG DDT next week. The Bayou also. There's some other stuff, but we got to talk offline. But watch Short Porch. We got a lot going on this coming month. November is going to be a wide open month for Short Porch. We got a lot of cool stuff. So check us out. You know, stay tuned is all I can say.
Are we talking about that other bat today?
Oh man, we'll leave it all. We talked about
Okay.
enough, but we'll do that next week. I know we mentioned it a few times, but we'll leave it there. We talked about enough bats already.
You don't want to flood the system with too much information.
Yeah, too much information.
So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely we'll talk about it.
you know, it was a little unfortunate. As the bats, we have a lot of bats coming out of production at the same time. It wasn't kind of supposed to be that way, but it happens. It happens sometimes, you know.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a good thing because we are
yeah,
selling. That's one thing about us. We're selling out pretty fast. We order a lot of bats,
yeah,
and a lot of bats go out.
yeah,
So and that's a good problem to have, though, Jeff.
yeah. Some of it was on us as our materials got there because we supply a lot of the raw materials. As they got there, the materials all got there. They all got to work on at the same time. All got started at the same time. So and that's what happens there. Because we're using our own materials, sometimes the order and which things we're trying to get it out into the market gets held up, but that's a good thing because our material is what makes our bats great. I think it's the biggest reason our bats are great.
I agree 100% on that. I do.
Yeah.
So bat bags. That's December though, right? I mean,
We thought that was very end of December. Looking like, and
maybe even I would even say next year.
Yeah. So I was trying to get them in ahead of Christmas, but I haven't really checked on them, Dave, to be honest. I'll have to let everybody know next week on that one. I know a lot of people are asking about bat bags. I'll try to get an ETA on those. I will say, we'll talk about balls. Let's talk about balls here.
Yeah.
So we have, to start the year, we have where we doubled. I don't know if it was last year, it was year before last, where we doubled our production on balls with the lines and how many people we had hand stitching balls and these kind of things. Right now we are looking, and we're going up in production probably by 10 times for next year on softballs. So all you guys who use short porch softballs, there will be way more available next season for the first time ever. That is something that Leslie got in place just last week, and we're ironing it out right now. So there will be a lot of softballs available from Short Porch. A lot of other companies, not just us, have been running out. There's been a little bit of a shortage of softballs this year. I don't know why. I hadn't talked to any other companies about that. But anyhow, Short Porch will have they'll have a lot more softballs available next season. So
Supply and demand. I think there's a lot
yeah,
more players out there too. That's why
yeah,
softballs are a lot of people ordering them because there's a lot more seniors out there. We talked about that in the early
yeah.
podcast. More seniors
And
out there.
I think guys more than ever, they like to change their balls out every game. They like to hit new balls every game. So I
Yeah.
know back 20 years ago, we still we might use the same 12 or 15 balls for a few tournaments. Now, man, we're using we're throwing in 4 new ones every game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I see that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's about all I got. Thank you for everything. I know we'll be talking offline some tomorrow, getting things ironed out. And like I said, I just didn't get a chance to touch base with you today, but it's a lot of fun, guys. I'll tell you, the Fat Guy BP. If you're U-Trip 240, insane bat. Grab you one while we have them. We
Yeah.
sold out twice over before. That if you're a one-piece guy, that bat is outstanding. So with a monster barrel on that thing. So
Yeah. Definitely. It's a badass bat.
yeah,
I can't
definitely.
wait because the way distribution numbers on it is what
You know, for me, and I know a lot of the younger kids are real high on the 2-piece models. For me, that is all my PRs from U-Trip is been with the Fat Guy BP models. So something about that. And I normally don't swing nothing other than a 12 inch. So not sure why that is, but that bat right there, I always seem to get really good performance off of it. So me personally, but anyway, man, that's a wrap for me. Thank you for everything. I'll touch base with you tomorrow. And guys, I appreciate y'all watching.
Thanks, brother.
I'm in.
All right. I cannot believe we're going to get off. We're not going to do the 2 hour anymore. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't want to get into it now. There's some stuff that I really wanted to get to, and I'll save it for another day. And basically come in here and start off fresh and just start talking about other stuff that I got on the. I never even got to the bottom. Yeah, guys, if you want to be a rep, that's another thing too. I'll finish with that. You guys want to be a rep. Factory hitters we're not looking at right now. Signature players we're not looking at right now. I had a couple of people ask me about that. We have our signature players. Factory hitters we are already tapped out, I should say. And basically we would look at next year if we're going to do it. But you want to be a rep. That's another one too. I mean, there's a few reps that start off and then turn into factory hitters later. And we do vet you. So don't be coming and asking to be a rep if you got some kind of stuff going on, or you're just not a very nice person, or getting fights at tournaments and stuff like that. We do look at all your social media page and all your social media posts. That's another thing we won't tolerate. Hate speech. We will not tolerate hate speech. And you'll be gone as soon as we get you. But we do a lot of vetting, so we don't have to do that. So we're pretty good at doing that now because we go pretty deep. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys again